Hi everybody and welcome back to the Going For It Sim Studio. I dedicated myself to learning golf on an indoor simulator because I really feel like golf technology is here to not only introduce the game to a broader audience, but take those avid golfers and increase the rate that you can practice so that you can actually get better at the game that you really enjoy. I also have been made very well aware that getting into simulators can be incredibly overwhelming. Today, what I want to do is just simplify that process as much as possible so that you get a little bit better of an understanding of how you can get introduced into a simulator, whether at your house or at a local sim house. Let's go. All right, so if you're watching this video, you already have some interest in golf simulator technology, and that's a great start. Maybe you've already done a bunch of research or you've started to research and realized that as you start to learn about the technology, you start to get overwhelmed really quickly with reviews and information and all the stuff involved about getting a simulator to the point where you can get out and hit some balls. Throughout my journey of learning only indoors, I have been able to help hundreds of people get a simulator for themselves, and there's one consistent factor that I have learned throughout almost every single person that I've spoken to, and that is choosing the right launch monitor. So what my goal is today for this video is to hopefully rally through a couple points that I have learned that could hopefully help you choose that quicker and easier so that you can get on to actually hitting balls and not go a winter extending your lack of practice as you roll into your seasons. So my whole thing here is I want to make it simple for you, okay? So if you don't have the money, if you don't have the space, if you're not quite sure that Golf Simulator is for you, or you want to wait and you want to be able to save up the money until you can definitely buy your dream simulator right out the gate, there's an easy answer to get into simulators, and that is simply find a sim house near you. About Golf has a wonderful feature on their website where you can find an About Golf sim house near you where you can have a membership or you can rent a simulator by an hour and you can get started right now. If you've got the money and you have an unlimited budget, give the folks at About Golf a call and they will get you a full setup that is fit specifically for your luxury setup. And why do you want to go with About Golf? Well, because you're going to get the most accurate technology, you're going to get software that is very, very stable, and you're going to get the most immersive experience that is going to provide tee to green accuracy and really good gameplay all the way down to the putting. Now, choosing a launch monitor or the right launch monitor becomes difficult. What I'm going to tell you to do here is stop watching reviews, don't read any blogs, don't read anything about launch monitors. All I want you to do is to look at your budget, okay, and say, okay, here's how much money I have for my simulator build. Here's how much money I want to devote to my launch monitor. Now you might ask, well, hey, Jeremy, how much money should I put into the launch monitor? Well, it's pretty simple actually. If you're looking at it, you as the buyer, the player, can easily say, hey, I am comfortable spending $2,000 on a launch monitor. So you quickly look and you find that maybe the FlightScope Mevo Plus is the one for you. Stop there. That is your choice. It's that simple. What I find that people do all the time is they start this process and they say, hey, I want to get this Mevo Plus. This is the one I want. Then they start looking at reviews and they start looking at comparisons and they start reading and they start watching and they start talking themselves up. Oh, you know what? Maybe I actually need this one. Oh, no, I need this one. And then when you talk to them 3 or 4 weeks later, they're telling you how they need to have a TrackMan for their indoor simulator. It's just that easy to get stuck in the marketing and all the numbers that you can get, because a lot of these launch monitor companies, they're going to provide different numbers with different levels of packages, or different launch monitors are going to provide you with these other data points. And when you're setting up a simulator, it's really easy to be like, gosh, I really need that one particular data point, or I need this, or I need that, when in reality you don't. And that's when you start talking yourself up, and what happens is you go the season, you don't buy a launch monitor, because then you start thinking like, gosh, I gotta spend $20,000 on a launch monitor, plus everything else I need, and that's the snowball effect, right? So what's the trick to all this? You just gotta keep it simple. You just have to keep it simple. As soon as you lock in on a launch monitor, buy it. Start playing. Look at FlightScopes, great example. You get the Mevo Plus for $2,000 or whatever it is. If you start utilizing that launch monitor, you've got your setup, however you decide to set it up with an enclosure, or you're hitting into a net, and then you go, hey, I like this, and I need these additional data points, then upgrade. You can upgrade to their Pro package or whatever that gets you those more data points, right? You can do the same thing with other launch monitors. You can sell them, and you can upgrade as you start realizing that you absolutely love playing on your indoor simulator. So once you have your launch monitor figured out, then what the heck do you do? Do I need an enclosure? What kind of projector do I get? What about my computer? Well, all that actually matters, but we're gonna save that for another video. Now, if you want to simplify it even more, give the folks at Carl's Place a call. Seriously, call them and say, hey, I need a simulator. Here's how much money I have to spend. This is what my room looks like. What do I do? The folks over at Carl's will set you straight, worry-free, and I can't stress that enough. They will make sure that they take your budget and utilize it exactly where you should put how much of that budget into what parts of that simulator, so that it shows up to your door in a bunch of boxes, and 2 hours later, you're hitting balls and you're having a fantastic time. Now, if you're brand new to the game and you want to utilize a simulator to learn, think Peloton. Think about what Peloton did to what I see as a cyclist as probably the most boring fitness activity. They took spin classes, exercise bikes at home, and they made it awesome. And they absolutely blew up. That's exactly the type of thing you can do with a simulator for your golf game. And what I would recommend is same thing. What's your budget? Buy based on your budget. Don't talk yourself into too much simulator. Really, I promise you're gonna be a heck of a lot happier. And it's gonna be the same exact rhetoric when I tell you about enclosures, projectors, and computers. So, to summarize everything, the one thing that almost everybody gets stuck on when they're trying to get into simulation is they get stuck on that launch monitor. They always start low on the price, they work their way up, and they talk them up and up and up and up, and then they realize they can't get a simulator because they can't get the launch monitor they want, and it stops the process. That's what we want to avoid. What we want to do is get more people playing sim golf because it's awesome. It's going to be able to provide you a way to practice all winter, to learn the game if that's where you're at, to really hone your skills, have a great time with your friends and family. And yes, you will quickly become the house to be at in the neighborhood. So please like, follow, and subscribe. I hope I was able to simplify that for you. I know that was a lot of talking just to say, hey, stay with the first one you get. Don't overthink it. Stop trying to get more than you actually need. And I'm going to continue simplifying the process of how to get yourself into simulator golf so that you too can practice year-round in the winter, especially in the summertime when you just cannot make it to the course. We'll see you next time.